I waited for his message every night, and at first it felt like something small, something simple, something almost harmless. My name is Alina. I'm 29 years old, and I live a quiet life in a small apartment in the city. I work from home, I don't go out much, and I don't talk to many people. My days are simple, my evenings are silent, and my nights used to be empty. But everything changed the day he texted me for the first time. His name was Ryan. It was just a normal message at first. "Hey, are you still working on that project?" That was all. Nothing special, nothing emotional, just a simple question. I replied politely, and that should have been the end of it, but it wasn't. The next day, he texted again, then again the day after that. Slowly, those small messages became a habit. Every evening, around the same time, my phone would light up with his name. At first, I didn't think much about it, but then something changed. I started waiting. I started looking at the time. I started checking my phone again and again. Will he text today? I would ask myself. And when he did, I felt something warm inside my chest, something I hadn't felt in a long time. He was kind. He was funny. He remembered little things I said. He asked me how my day was, and he actually listened to the answer. We talked about everything: work, life, dreams, fears. Sometimes we talked for hours. Sometimes we said nothing important, but it still felt important. His messages became the best part of my day. I didn't notice when it stopped being normal. I didn't notice when it became something more. All I knew was that every night I was waiting, waiting for his message, waiting for that small notification that made my heart beat faster. One night, he texted late. "Sorry, busy day," he said. I smiled and replied, "It's okay." But inside, I felt something strange. Why did it matter so much? Why did I care? I told myself it was nothing, just a friend, just a habit. But deep down, I knew the truth. I was falling for him, slowly, quietly, without even realizing it. Days turned into weeks, weeks turned into months, and every night the same routine. I would finish my work, sit on my bed, hold my phone, and wait. Sometimes I would open our chat and read old messages. I would smile at the things he said. I would imagine his voice. I would imagine what it would be like to meet him. He never talked much about his personal life. I noticed that, but I didn't ask. I didn't want to break the comfort we had. I didn't want to lose those messages. One night I asked him, "Do you ever feel lonely?" There was a pause, a long pause. Then he replied, "Sometimes." That one word stayed in my mind. Sometimes. I wanted to ask more, but I didn't. I was afraid. Afraid that if I asked too much, he might disappear. And I couldn't lose him. Not now. Not after everything. One evening, something felt different. It was already late, and he hadn't texted. I looked at the time again and again. 9 p.m., 10 p.m., 11 p.m. Nothing. I tried to stay calm. He's just busy, I told myself. But my heart didn't believe it. I picked up my phone and typed, "Hey, are you okay?" I stared at the message for a long time before sending it. After I sent it, I waited. Minutes passed. Then hours. No reply. That night felt longer than any night before. I couldn't sleep. I kept checking my phone. I kept hoping, but nothing came. The next morning, I woke up with a heavy feeling in my chest. Still no message. I tried to focus on my work, but I couldn't. My mind was somewhere else, with him, with the silence. Hours later, I saw it. Online. My heart jumped. He was there. He was online. But he didn't reply. I watched that little green dot for a long time. Then suddenly, it disappeared. I felt something break inside me. That was the first time I felt fear, real fear. Not of losing a friend, but of losing something I never even had. The next day, he finally replied, "Sorry, I was busy." Just that, nothing more. No explanation, no emotion. I stared at the message, trying to understand it. Something felt off. Something wasn't the same. But I ignored it. I replied normally. I laughed at his jokes. I acted like nothing had changed. But everything had changed. After that, his messages became less frequent, shorter, colder. The warmth was gone. The connection was fading. But I was still there, still waiting, still hoping. One night, I couldn't take it anymore. I asked him, "Did I do something wrong?" He replied after a long time, "No, why would you think that?" I didn't know what to say because I could feel it, the distance, the silence, the change. But I didn't want to push him away, so I said, "Nothing, just asking." And that was it. Days passed. Then something happened that I was not ready for. One evening, while scrolling through social media, I saw a picture. It was him, Ryan, smiling, standing next to a woman, his arm around her. They looked happy, too happy. I froze. My fingers stopped moving. My heart stopped beating. I read the caption, "Happy anniversary, my love." I felt like the world around me disappeared. My chest felt tight. My eyes filled with tears. I couldn't breathe. He never told me, not once, not in all those nights, not in all those conversations, not in all those moments we shared. He had a life, a real life, and I was not part of it. I was just a small, hidden piece of his time, a secret, a distraction, something he turned to when he felt lonely. That was the truth I was not ready to see. That night, I didn't wait for his message. I didn't check my phone. I just sat in silence, holding back tears. Everything made sense now. The late replies, the distance, the silence. It was never about me. It was about him. The next day, he texted again. "Hey." Just one word, like nothing had happened, like everything was normal. I looked at the message for a long time. My hands were shaking. My heart was heavy. I wanted to reply. I wanted to ask him why. I wanted to tell him how I felt. But I didn't. For the first time, I didn't wait. I didn't respond. I just closed my phone and took a deep breath. That night felt different. It was quiet, but not painful. It was empty, but not lonely. Because for the first time, I understood something important. I was not waiting for him anymore. I was choosing myself. It wasn't easy. I still thought about him. I still remembered his words, his messages, his kindness. But I also remembered the truth. And the truth hurt more than the silence. Days passed, and slowly I started to feel like myself again. I started to enjoy my evenings without waiting. I started to smile without checking my phone. I started to live without expecting a message. And one day I realized something. I didn't lose him. I lost an illusion, a feeling that was never real, a connection that was never complete. And that realization set me free. Sometimes we wait for people who were never meant to stay. Sometimes we hold on to words that were never meant to mean anything. And sometimes the truth comes late, but when it does, it changes everything. Dear friends, if you are waiting for someone who makes you feel uncertain, if you are holding on to messages that bring more pain than happiness, remember this. You deserve clarity. You deserve honesty. And most importantly, You deserve someone who chooses you, not just when they are free, but all the time. Thank you for listening to this story. If it touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Your support means everything. And always remember, sometimes letting go is the beginning of something better.